Hello, I'm Mr. Jessup from the Art Department at KESH Academy, and I'd just like to talk to you a little bit about why it is a good idea to choose art at any level, but particularly at higher levels such as A level. So 8 reasons why studying art is a really good idea. First of all, the world that we live in today, continually morphing and continually growing in terms of technology, and this has allowed a lot more vocations into the world, and it's continuing to grow all of the time. All kinds of industries such as games design and the film industries are doing incredibly well in this country. The film industries down south and the games design is starting to really flourish in the area around Leamington Spa, not too far away from here. Huge big growth in that industry. Down the bottom there is a friend of mine who he tells me from his own experiences, and you can see there he's doing very well. These are all films that he has had a hand in terms of creating computer generated imagery, and he's winning Oscars and BAFTAs and such like. Secondly, fine artists can reach a worldwide market at the click of a button. Once upon a time, not too long ago, you would have had to have worked through a gallery, or you might have had to have had an agent to sort of push yourself further in the art world. These days, with social media, that is, and all kinds of independent sites such as Etsy and Not on the High Street, artists are able to sell their work directly to the public, in huge quantities. Down the bottom there is an artist from Australia called CJ Hendry, who left a career in architecture because she wanted to do more drawing, and within a year had really made a name for herself in the art world as a result of social media and sort of plugging herself. It's there for the taking. Thirdly, you can do this, because of social media. You can do this at quite a young age. The chap at the bottom there, the photographs by Alex Starrart, he was 18 years old when he started putting his work out on social media, and these things went viral and caused him enormous amounts of public acclaim. From there he's been able to forge himself quite a successful career in photography, and has sold his work regularly. As with this chap here, I mean, this is a few years ago now, but this chap who went under the name Zev, when he was 14, started producing these digital images where he miniaturized himself and people from his family, people that he knew, into these macro images from using nature and that sort of thing. Really clever stuff for a 14-year-old. Well, clever stuff for any age, really, but stuff that's very accessible. Consequently, a lot of his images went viral, and he again made a name for himself. He's probably in his early 20s now. And has again forged quite a career for himself in the visual arts. If you've got a wide skill set, surely it's common sense that's going to be beneficial in all kinds of areas. If you limit yourself too much to one particular field, then essentially you're putting all of your eggs in one basket, aren't you? Which might be the best thing for you to do personally. But I do see that there could be a huge benefit from spreading your skill set a little bit wider and opening yourself up to different possibilities in the future. I think that this Venn diagram illustrates this quite well. We don't really know what the future is going to look like. We don't know what the world will look like in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, when people are stepping out of university courses. To have a wider skill set, to have a wider area of expertise, surely that would make you more employable. So, if you were interested in going science or mathematics, to also have skills and qualifications in, the languages and writing and communication, and or visual arts and music, that's going to be something that's going to put you ahead in terms of an employer's view of the people that they want to employ. Studying art improves performance in other subjects. It enhances your fine motor skills, your hand-eye coordination, problem-solving skills, and lateral thinking. You have to do complex analysis and critical thinking quite regularly. You have to think around problems. The problems that you're dealing with aren't problems that can be solved with a yes or no answer. They are problems that you have to come at from different angles, different viewpoints. So that is they're going to be skills that you are going to be able to apply to all manner of different job vocations. So it is beneficial to the brain and beneficial to employers. Good marks impress in a very, very basic way. If it's something that you enjoy doing, if it's something that you have a particular affinity with, if you just like creating art or building things or whatever it is, do it and do it well and get a good qualification, and that is going to impress people long term. It shows that you have all kinds of positive qualities like intellectual rigor and tenacity and things, desirable traits that universities or employers would want in a person. The art marks aren't dependent on you completing a final exam necessarily. There is an exam, but the exam is spread over quite a significant amount of time. It's spread over about 3 or 4 months, where you produce a whole body of work. So it's not about, some people struggle where it comes to, performing on a particular day. For art, it's much more about the sort of holistic approach to what you do. So there are huge benefits for some people in producing, in gaining a qualification where you don't have to sit a final test or a final exam. And arguably, the most important, which is why I've left it until last, art makes you happy. It's proven, it's scientifically proven to release endorphins and make you happy. You're in a position where you're producing work which is your response to the world around you. It might be that you're just trying to produce something beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, or it might be that you have some sort of political message to get across. Whatever it is, you're producing work that comes from you, and you're learning to see the world in a much more interesting and analytical way. So it is something that people do gain enormous enjoyment out of. So just to sum up, art teaches how to analyse and how to focus. Art promotes creative thinking across all subject areas. Art enhances and enriches all learning experiences. It feeds in to different areas right the way across the curriculum. It lets us share our feelings with others. It teaches us how to express ourselves. It teaches us problem-solving skills, really, really important in a world that is continually changing. It's all around us. We can't get away from it. It's on billboards. It's in computer programs and imagery. It's in books. It's in magazines. It's on the TV. It's in films. It's everywhere. So it's there to we have to engage with it. It builds language and social skills. It's a great communicator. Arguably, I would say, the original communicator. It came a long time before language. Art is talking in pictures. It's communication. It's getting your point across. It's being able to express yourself in various ways, and it is an incredibly enriching area of our lives. So thank you very much for listening to me. I hope you will consider art as a subject. I consider it to be the most valuable, but maybe I'm biased. Thank you very much, and goodbye.